Welcome to this breaking news debate edition of Hannity. Tonight, let's set the record straight. There are no moderates that are running for president in the modern Democratic, radical, extreme socialist party. They're not. You're either more radical or less radical, but you're still radical and you're still a socialist. Now, the narrative from fake news, CNN and MSDNC about a politically diverse set of candidates, that's just the newest lie after 2.5 years of lying. They all support some version of this insane new Green Deal, and they all support raising your taxes, and they all support government-run universal health care. And by the way, guess what? They want free health care for illegal immigrants, and building walls is immoral. They all want to buy into the lie, or you to buy into the lie, keep your doctor, keep your plan, and save less. But this is on human growth hormones and steroids, and it's applied to every aspect of our economy. And if we have no oil or gas, it will destroy this economy in weeks, not even months. The impact will be felt immediately. Got a lot to say on this. We're going to show you the very worst moments from both debates. Spoiler alert, socialism has infected every corner of the Democratic Party, and 2020 will be the biggest choice election in our lifetime. This is a tipping point for the country. Anyone that doesn't tell you that is not telling you the truth. It's that dire. Now, we'll either continue down the path of freedom, constitutional government, prosperity, capitalism, risk, reward with President Trump, or we will plunge into the depths of Soviet-style big government economic tyranny, and poverty will immediately follow thereafter. Highlights, reaction are just minutes away. Before I get to my monologue, we have some major breaking news surrounding Mr. Super Patriot himself, Jim Comey. Our friends at Judicial Watch have just obtained some very compelling documents of little old Jimbo, well, that he probably doesn't want you to see or to know about. As it turns out, in June of 2017, 1 month after Comey was fired, well, the FBI, people that he used to be the boss of, agents showed up at his door. Why didn't we find this out sooner? They were there to retrieve his classified government memos that he was storing in his home, which is illegal. The agents also grilled Comey about the documents during an interview. By the way, that would be called an interrogation for the rest of the world. And keep in mind, these are the very same memos about his confidential communications with the President of the United States. Comey leaked those to the media through a professor friend of his at Columbia for the purpose of spurring a special counsel investigation. Now, Mr. Super Patriot Comey never should have had those documents at his house. And oh yeah, leaking classified material is a crime. Now, I don't think this is his biggest crime, in my humble opinion. I've told Super Patriot Jim Comey many times before, I'll say it again tonight, Jim, you have the right to remain silent. My advice now more than ever, you need to shut up. Take my advice. Joining us now with more, Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton. This is a big discovery, and I'll be honest, as far as the sins of Jim Comey and things that I think are important, the legality issues of it, this is, the low-hanging fruit. This is the least important. What he did on FISA and elsewhere will be far more important to the American people over time.
Well, it's part of a piece, and Comey took the FBI files he had on President Trump, kept them at his home, which was illegal, taking someone's FBI files and keeping them at your home, and he used them for political purposes. He leaked them to the New York Times to get a special counsel, and coincidentally, his friend Robert Mueller gets appointed. Look, no leak of the memos, no Mueller special counsel. So this is a pretty big deal. And now we know for the first time the FBI was investigating his creation and handling of these memos. And it's a month after he's fired. They show up at his house. They're interviewing him. And he says, well, I have these memos. You want them? Come on, guys. The FBI let these records walk out the door, which is a violation of President Trump's rights. He keeps them there at his house. He doesn't tell them that he's leaking them. He admits to it the next day in congressional testimony. It's a Keystone Cops atmosphere, but unfortunately, the president's the victim here. And the president's the victim of several crimes, in my view, committed by Comey in terms of taking his FBI files, which is illegal, and then leaking them. And that created the special counsel investigation, even more so than the FISA warrants, abusive as it was, as abusive as they were.
All right, Tom Fitton, we're going to continue to watch Judicial Watch, all these Freedom of Information Act requests. This is important. I have a funny feeling, and my sources are telling me it's going way further than that.